Time now for a sports update on a podcast. Oklahoma State fires longtime football coach Mike Gundy. Dem boys are still there, though. Gundy is gone. The New York Giants are benching Russell Wilson to start rookie quarterback Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Start. And finally, Buzz Lightyear's original name was Lunar Larry. I mean, how about that, Izzy?
Jaxson Dart, baby.
Yeah, they're throwing darts. I mean,
Lunar Larry would not have sold very well.
No.
There's nothing kids are obsessed less with than the moon.
Yeah.
I've never heard a kid. I mean, actually, I'd take that back. There is one kid in my family who just points the moon out whenever they see it, but that's as far as that goes.
How about the children's book, Goodnight Moon? Put that on the poll, Taylor. How about the children's book, Goodnight Moon? Yes or no? I mean, kids like the moon, don't they? No?
I mean, I don't have any kids, so I defer to you, but I've been around a lot of kids in my family and never really heard them talk moon.
No, I got to be honest. My kids, my daughters, have never mentioned the moon, expressed any sort of interest in the moon. We've never had a discussion about the moon.
I do have a two-year-old niece that's mooning people now.
I made myself laugh. Sorry about that. What do you got, Taylor?
The only contribution I had, I was also going to say Warren Moon.
Oh, that's all you had?
Jackie Moon.
At some point, I had a conversation about the moon with my kids when I was ranking quarterbacks. I told them Warren Moon was number 26 all time, something like that.
Just a random number. No, that was a good number. He was underrated.
Yes. What do you make of the Jaxson Dart stuff? By the way, Raheem Mostert, thank you to him for doing hour one with us. He's fantastic. I love it. I love that he wants to drive a show. I love that he's taking hacks at it. I have to get him a lot of guests here. I have to get him Marcus Allen. I have to get him Shaquille O'Neal, Kelly Slater.
Wait. You need to book all that for him to host your show?
Well, no, he just asked for a few guests that he wanted to have on, and I'm happy to reach out to these people and try to get him for Raheem Mostert, Jonathan Taylor, Tua, Tyreek Hill, his friends.
You should worry about your own show first.
What do you make of Jaxson Dart? That to me, Izzy, that is a. We'll get to baseball in a second. Jeff Passing going to join us. To me, that is a coach and a GM who realize they're on the hot seat, realize their days are numbered, and their savior is the guy they drafted out of Mississippi last year.
Honest question. How much Jaxson Dart quarterbacking have you actually seen?
Not enough.
Okay, and I'm not saying that to knock you or to gotcha you, Stu.
Right.
But neither have I. And I don't know how many people outside of draft coverage highlights have really seen Jaxson Dart play a whole lot of football and can tell you, I know what that guy does particularly well. He just looks like a quarterback, got a great quarterback name, went to an SEC school. Let's give that guy a go. That's what this feels like to me, because I mean, he might end up being super savvy. He might have all that moxie that Tua wishes he had. He might be able to move outside the pocket, give you a little Zach Wilson looks every once in a while. But if Jaxson Dart was going to be like a can't miss prospect, we would have known more about him by now. We would have probably gotten him earlier in the draft. And so, or I say we, the Giants.
Right.
So what do I think it is? I think it's a nice, probably last ditch effort from a team that is just absolutely nowhere.
No, this is what happens when you have a coach and a GM who feel like they're about to get fired. And the only thing that can save them is a guy they drafted so they can hold up and say, look, the guy we took, he's really, really good. We're not going to make the playoffs this year with him, but we have the next, 8 to 10 years locked up because Jaxson Dart's good. Izzy, I will say this. Whatever time he got in the preseason, and it was just the preseason, Jaxson Dart did look like a good quarterback. Like a lot of Giant fans wanted them to start Jaxson Dart to start the season. So.
Yeah, and look, I could probably make a lot of money going back in time and betting against quarterbacks that fans wanted to see based on their preseason. Right. There are quarterback. I mean, who's the guy? I mean, Quinn Ewers looked great for the Dolphins for about a game and a half. All right.
Yeah,
who's the dude? Skylar Thompson for the Dolphins in the preseason.
He was the best preseason quarterback of all time.
Right. So the only way this works out great, obviously, if Jaxson Dart fills out the potential, but me being a Dolphins fan, being in hell for a long time, Giants fans are in a current different state of hell, right? Because they lose Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. And Saquon Barkley's on the cover of Madden with the most famous running back move since Barry Sanders.
Yep.
And Daniel Jones is front runner for MVP. Like, the Giants just have to be so pissed off. And they just had to go through a Russell Wilson experiment when they had the potential MVP in their backfield.
Yeah, if you're a Giants fan, I think the Saquon thing is like so far in the back of your mind right now with what's happening with Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones, you had him. Saquon was most likely going to leave. Like, maybe he comes back, but it's hard to build around a running back in today's NFL. Daniel Jones, it's becoming very clear that Brian Daboll's like, it might be me. I might be the problem. And Jaxson Dart I think the one positive that you could say with Jaxson Dart is he's played a ton of football. Like, this is a quarterback that's started over 40 games in 4 years in college, dating back to 2021 when he was at USC before he transfers to Ole Miss. So I think there's enough things for Jaxson Dart. Strong arm talent. Name. Above, name is the main thing in Jaxson Dart's favor.
Yeah, that's why you draft him. I mean,
he's an above average athlete. You've seen the past couple of weeks, man. Nobody hands off a ball like Jaxson Dart.
Oh, he looks great doing it.
Taylor.
Wait, hold on, because Izzy had issues with you when you said building around a running back, and we'll get to that in a second. But Taylor,
the Eagles are doing that.
Yeah, no, listen, you could debate whether he was a missing piece or they actually built around.
They're building around a running game, and the Giants already had what they had evidence for as probably the best running back in the sport.
Put it on the poll, Taylor. If you hate the Giants, are you desperately rooting for Daniel Jones versus Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl?
Wow.
That would be hell.
I would.
You know the Jets had it bad. I mean, geez.
I would watch a separate broadcast of just Giants fans watching that Super Bowl. Because
put it on the poll,
great.
Taylor. Would you watch a separate broadcast of just Giant fans watching that Super Bowl? I would too, as he had paid for it.
And so the reason I say all that is because, damn, that's a lot of added pressure on Jaxson Dart. Like, why? And doing it in game number 4, which I know the Giants don't have any hope. But if he has a great, who are they playing?
Chargers.
I'm checking it right now.
Okay, they're not going to win that game. But if he has a great game,
right out of the gates, oh, boy.
I mean, he got the better Harbaugh right out the gates too, so it's a problem. But if it's a lot of pressure on him to not just recover this whole team throughout this season, but then to be like, all right, we want you to make us forget about Daniel Jones. That's not going to happen, not this year, right? Unless Daniel Jones gets hurt or something. So I don't know. I feel bad for Jaxson Dart. I feel like if he were somewhere else, maybe this wouldn't be such an issue. I hope for the best for him because it just doesn't like he is less of a expected talent than Daniel Jones based on where he was drafted, right?
Yes. Yeah. No. So this is interesting that you feel bad for Jaxson Dart.
Look what they did to Daniel Jones.
I would tell you that Jaxson Dart is very excited and very much looking forward to get his opportunity. He's not sitting there saying, "Who do I play first?" I don't believe that's what he's doing. I think he's sitting there saying, "Whoever I play first, we're going to beat them because I'm playing quarterback now."
And that's the only way you can think of it. Like, that's the only way if you're Jaxson Dart. It's just like, all that other stuff doesn't matter. I can only do what's right in front of me. But it's all still going to be out there for him. Like, if he is in, I don't know, week 10, Daniel Jones is still killing it, 9-1, maybe 8-1. And those comparisons are going to happen. And they're going to ask him about, maybe. They're going to ask other team members about, hey, did you think Daniel Jones could do this when you played with him? And it's all going to be right in front of Jaxson Dart. So I'm not saying like he's taking all that in and it's going to, and he's going to collapse under the pressure. It just shows you, like, if I'm Jaxson Dart, I'm thinking, why am I the one that's going to work out if they ruined it for that guy and they ruined it for that guy? Now it's just like all I can do is go out there and play my ass off. But what is that going to turn into? I don't know, because this organization is shit.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
I would take that shit organization. I would. I mean, seriously. I had a choice to make when I was a kid, Izzy. It was the Jets or the Giants. In New York, we all have choices, right? Except for the Knicks.
Too many.
Well, except for the Knicks. We're all Knicks fans, okay? Yeah. You could choose Mets. You could choose Yankees. I chose Mets. Fine, I got 86. You could choose Islanders. You could choose Rangers. The Rangers finally won their Stanley Cup, but I had 4 straight. I chose wisely there. Football is where I fucked up. You have the Giants. You have the Jets. I walked into Shea Stadium. Richard Todd was the quarterback. Walt Michaels was the coach.
How old were you?
Freeman McNeil played. Wesley Walker was a wide receiver. They were good enough, just good enough to suck this kid in at Shea Stadium. Okay, they were exciting. They had the sack exchange. They had Gastineau with his hair flowing out of his fucking helmet, and so it got me really excited. And I chose the Jets. Had I chose the Giants, I would be a 4-time Super Bowl champion. I mean,
How do you think your life would be different?
I was going to say, yeah.
I'd have 4 rings. What do you mean?
What were the Giants doing at the time that didn't attract you? Or was it just literally walking into that stadium?
It was really a geography thing. I'm growing up on Long Island. The Jets are playing in Shea Stadium. So it's in Flushing. It's where the Mets play. And
This is the 80s?
Yeah, and so usually, Izzy, in New York, if you're from Long Island, you're a Jets fan. Taylor will attest to this because I think he goes the other way on some of these teams. But you're a Mets fan, an Islander fan, and a Jets fan. And again, we're all stuck with the Knicks. So that's usually the way it works when you're from Long Island, just because of the geography of the stadium. When you were growing up, you were going to watch the Jets and the Mets on Long Island in Flushing, essentially, which is very close to Long Island. But you were you therefore became a Jets and Mets fan. So.
Okay. So it really was just a convenience thing. Okay. So that's I mean,
well, no,
honestly,
and they were good enough at the time. They were good. They were exciting. Like they played an exciting brand of football. They had the sack exchange, man. I mean,
honestly, today years old when I heard the sack exchange, I didn't really know
Really?
what that was. Yeah.
yeah. Wait, you know what it is, Taylor?
Yeah, Gastineau.
Gastineau. Yeah. Who else? Name one other person.
Nah, I couldn't do that.
Joe Klecko.
Mark
Lyons,
Gastineau, Joe
Abdul
Klecko,
Salam.
Marty
I remember
Lyons,
all of them. It was the best
Abdul
time of my
Salam.
life. I mean,
Wow, that was
If you want to talk like early 2000 Jets football, like Santana Moss, Chad Pennington,
right, you're all over it. Yeah.
Little sprinkle in a little Dustin Keller.
Right.
That's more my era of Jets
Dustin
football.
Keller. Jeez.
Yeah, Chad Pennington is my era of the Dolphins as well.
Yes. Well, hey, listen, he was runner-up MVP when you got him. I mean, he was.
It was quite the year. Wow, this sack exchange, they were a bunch of gangsters. Like they like always like lined up together for photos and everything. Like this was a thing, wasn't it?
It was a big deal. I think they did a 30 for 30 on the sack exchange.
No way.
I'm pretty
Not
certain.
just on the sack exchange, really?
Yeah, check it out. It's listen, they had to find something about the Jets they could do a 30 for 30 on. I mean,
I think Mark Gastineau's family got a reality show, didn't they?
They did. Yeah, he was a big star. He listen, he flirted with boxing for a little bit, Gastineau. Like he crossed over. He was a megastar, Gastineau.
I'm looking at a painting, like a hand painted, like an artist made this of the sack exchange by Dwayne Potowski, and it is glamorous. Like it's amazing. And wow.
It would suck you in, right?
I can't believe I've never heard of this defensive line before. What is wrong with me?
Right, but it's enough to suck you in, right? I mean,
look, yes. If
see why I was
in the
excited.
1980s, if that's what I'm looking at, 100%. Like I'd be like, I love this team and this 4 guys that are just doing everything together.
yes.
So it looks like the Gastineau Girls was an reality television show. It ran 2 seasons, and on IMDb, it got a 2.2 out of 10.
Higher than I expected, gotta be honest. The Gastineau was happy with a 2.2.
Wow, what a time.
It does feel like there's two sides to the Jaxson Dart coin where I was watching Connor Rogers on SNY, and he was saying that if the Giants starting quarterback competition was an open competition and Russell Wilson wasn't promised a job, Dart most likely wins it with his preseason. And then the Giants see Russell Wilson during the season, and he's just throwing up these moon balls to be intercepted every time. Like that game against the Chiefs was one of the worst games I think you could see a quarterback play with Russell Wilson. But then the other side of that coin does feel like the Giant fan base is backing Brian Dable into a corner, and he is like, you know what? I got to break glass in case of emergency, the ace up my sleeve. Here's Jaxson Dart, everybody.
Yes. Yep.
And what is the Giants' biggest weak spot? Like, it's not like they had Russell Wilson perfectly protected and they have a great running game and they have, complementary receivers next to neighbors. They've got a lot of failures. And that offensive line, I don't know how good it is. And if it's not good enough for Jaxson Dart, he's going to look terrible too.
No, but what you take a flyer on, Izzy, in this situation when your job is on the line, is you just hope Jaxson Dart, whatever their problems are, and certainly there are many, you hope that this guy has the ability to fix them all. Like, I'm serious. I've said it for a while now. If you're one of those generational type quarterbacks, then it doesn't matter where you go to. It doesn't matter who your offensive line. It didn't take Joe Burrow long. No one has been worse than the Bengals, okay, historically in the NFL. And the second Burrow got there, they were good and he was good. And so if Jaxson Dart is like that, you'll know it. He'll be able to show it even with bad teammates around him, because the great quarterbacks have the ability to lift the guys around them, make them better, and at least show that there is some promise there. And so if Jaxson Dart is good, you'll show it. He'll show it, and it just might save Brian Daboll's job.
One of the main complaints about Russell Wilson that I've seen from Giants fans is they don't think that Wilson has been able to see in the middle of the field. And that's why he's just resorting to throwing up these, 50-50 deep balls to Malik Neighbors. So I think with Dart, you're hoping to have more of your playbook available to where a quarterback isn't limited by what they're seeing and trusting. And then the Giants do get back Andrew Thomas, who has been pretty limited and played limited amount of snaps on their offensive line, who, when healthy, Andrew Thomas should be one of the best tackles in football.
Well, here's another line from Giants owner John Mara, who said, and it's just adding pressure to Jaxson Dart. Like, I don't know if he feels this necessarily like it's being laid on him, but obviously the most important player on the field and the one everybody's looking at is going to feel these things. He said, quote, "They're going to have to get better if we're going to move on to year 5, which of Daboll, et cetera." And so it's like, wow. So if they're going to have to get, I mean, how hard is it to get better than 0-3? Maybe that's the plan, right?
They set the bar very low.
Set the bar so low that at the end of the season, it's like classic Miami Dolphins stuff, right? Oh, 8-9. Maybe we should stick with this, and you just go for another year. So that's probably the best case scenario for him, because that's a lot of pressure. If he ends up playing well, I think they still fire Daboll and just sort of organize everything else.
Right.
And just know that they have their quarterback and get a new staff that's not going to screw him up.
Really? You think so?
I think Daboll is dead man walking, basically.
Regardless of how Jaxson Dart does here.
Well, yeah.
Because he can stake a claim. Listen, keep in mind, Joe Shane and Brian Daboll were the guys who told Buffalo to move up and get Josh Allen. That worked out. Now, whether you want to give Daboll credit for developing Josh Allen and making him better, we could discuss that back and forth. But they were the guys who did that. And so they were the guys who also took Jaxson Dart when everyone thought they should take Shedeur Sanders or were going to take Shedeur Sanders. So I'm not saying I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I just think if Jaxson Dart is good, it might buy Daboll one more year. That's all. Okay. Yeah.
Does the X,
because now it's two quarterbacks that he's hit on. You know what I'm saying? In the draft. That's all.
Sure. Does the X in his name help him or hurt him?
I think Jaxson
helps.
Yeah. Oh, it helps.
I think it helps.
Yeah. X
cool.
marks the spot. Yeah.
I was, as somebody who doesn't have a middle name, there was about a 10-year period where I was like considering adding a middle name, and I always wanted to add one that had as the first letter either an X or a Q. Like, it's the perfect middle initial. It's like there's mystery there, and for some reason you throw that X instead of the CK, and you're just like, why hasn't that name been spelled like that the entire time?
When I think of a Jackson with an X, I think of Jackson's Ice Cream. I mean, do you know that place, Izzy? I'm talking about in Hollywood.
I do. Isn't it across from the old Highlight place?
Yeah, it's the greatest. It's from Daniel Highlight. Yes.
Is that how that's spelled? I didn't know it was spelled in the next.
I hope it is. I mean, I have no idea. At least that's the way I remember it.
I can look that up right now while I ask
you guys are hoping it's not. I mean,
The more X's you have in your name, the cooler it is. Like Max Crosby.
Yeah, put it on the poll. The more X's you put in your name, that you have in your name, the cooler you are. Yes or no? I agree with you. X-Ray Hip. I mean, what a cool guy.
Jackson's does have an X in it. Good call.
Yes.